Hey guys, welcome back to our YouTube channel. We're here today with Danielle. She's an au pair from Namibia who's currently au pairing in the States. How are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
Good, thank you. So I was hoping you would share a little bit about your au pair adventure with us. To start things off, would you like to tell us about where you're au pairing in the States and maybe a bit more about your host family?
Okay, I am in Arizona, but I'm in a small town called Scottsdale, and I have 3 little ones, and a host mommy and a daddy. And actually, I have 2 little ones and 1 older one. The little ones are 10. He just turned 10 last weekend, and 8. It's a little boy and a little girl. And the third one, he's 13, so he's a bit older, so I can't say he's a little one.
Yeah, she's a teenager now, not really like a little one anymore.
Yeah.
And how are you finding life in Arizona? Did it take you a while to adjust there compared to back home?
It took me a while to adjust to the food. It's really different from back home, and lots of fast food places.
Yes.
Like they like to eat fast food. They see it as norm, and the weather is similar to back home, so I didn't find it very difficult to adjust to that, which was nice, especially when I feel like I miss home a little. Then I don't miss home that much because I'm in a similar environment. You understand? The weather's the same. So yeah.
And now, how do you deal with your homesickness when you do start to miss home a little bit?
When I do have homesickness, I think in that time I call my parents. I speak to them as much as possible. It's difficult a little with the time difference, but I try and make an effort to reach out. People from back home won't always know that you are feeling homesick. So you have to make the effort to reach out to them and tell them, I miss home today, so that they can try and talk to you more often, or you can try and talk to them more often. So that's one of the main things that I do. I try and call, if it's not once a day, at least twice a day, in the morning and late at night before I go to bed. I try and call and talk to them.
Okay, cool. And then do you also find getting out of the house, meeting up with other maybe au pairs or friends you have in the area, just taking your mind off of it, maybe that helps as well? Or
it's a little difficult right now with COVID going on.
Sure. Yes.
So all the au pairs are kind of going through the same thing. We're just in the house the whole time. Our state's restriction hasn't been taken off really, so we can't really see other people unless you have been in shelter in place this whole time. Because we work with children, you don't want to go somewhere and then come back with the risk of getting them infected,
Sure.
So before I do decide, okay, can I go see another au pair, there's a few questions that I need to ask them first, and ask them, have you been around other people? Have you been in shelter in place? Those type of things, So if I do feel homesick, and I can't see my family that often or talk to them that often, then I do result in seeing another au pair. I don't have au pairs living that close in my area.
Is that because you're in a small town?
I'm in a smaller town, yes. But I do make an effort to see others, yes.
Okay, that's great. And then while you're over there, do you feel well supported and looked after with our partners that side, with au pair care, with your area director, your medical insurance, and all the other program benefits that are put into place for you? Do you feel well looked after? Weight lift?
Yes. Immediately when I came, all these things were given to me, and you kind of feel like, oh, how am I supposed to do this? How am I supposed to do that? And then our area director's name is Brenda. She comes to you and she tells you, this is how you're supposed to be doing this. I can help you with this. This is how you're supposed to be doing this. And immediately you feel like, oh, this weight has been lifted off my shoulder, because I don't have to run around and do everything on my own. And I was lucky and fortunate enough to have host parents who has been in the program before, so they also know how to do certain things. But I do feel supported a lot, especially by my area director. Every month she checks in, see if I'm okay, and it's not just a check-in; it's a personal relationship that I have with her. You understand?
Yes, yes.
So yeah.
That's great. And then before the whole COVID outbreak, did you ever get the chance to go to your area director monthly meetings with the other au pairs and you kind of all get together with your little cluster?
Yes, we got together until around March.
Okay.
Every month, and it was cool. It's nice. Every time it's a different activity that we got to do. We had a Christmas party, we went painting, and then we had hikes, like we go into the rocks and things. So yeah, we had a few adventures together to help us get to know each other, and it was just amazing.
Yes. And how long have you been au pairing now in Arizona?
How long has it been? It's been 5 months.
5 months, okay. And then before the whole outbreak, did you get the chance to travel in the States and sightsee?
Oh yes, I did. My family loves to travel, and we went to California, we went to San Francisco, we had gone to Jamaica,
Wow.
we had gone to Las Vegas, a few places. They really love to travel.
Okay, so most of the traveling you did with your host family?
Yes.
Okay. And then what was your favorite destination that you went to?
Oh, probably Jamaica. It was so beautiful.
Oh, really? That's amazing. I'm so jealous. It looks incredible, I must say. You mentioned that there's a lot of fast food restaurants in America. Do you have a favorite American food? It doesn't necessarily have to be fast food. Maybe it's something your host parents cook for you and introduce to you.
When I first came, they introduced me to Taco Bell, which is tacos. And I was like, oh, this tastes a little weird. And every Tuesday I have it. It's a must have for me. And they usually make fun of me. They were like, you didn't like this when you came and now you're hooked on it. What have we done to you?
It's Taco Tuesday. You have to do it.
Yes.
That's so great. Did you pick up on any new American words or phrases that you have never heard before? And maybe you just like hearing it or something new to you, or maybe you find yourself using it?
I don't know. I haven't thought about it yet, but I probably have. My host parents says my accent is fading. So when people they have a few friends usually that shelter in place, but every other Sunday they come over and they say, your accent hasn't been fading, we think it's getting stronger. So they have picked up some words that I say that they don't know. Like, I didn't know that sis, when you say sis to something like sissa, it isn't a word this side. I never knew that. I didn't even know it wasn't the English vocabulary. And I find my little ones saying it a lot. When they just walk around and they don't like something, they will say sis. And I'm like, oh, okay.
So you're sharing a bit of your background and culture with them. That's great.
Yes.
I like that they're picking up on that, yes. My favorite, when I was in Texas, people used to say y'all a lot. That was mine. Can you please tell us a bit more about your day-to-day routine, what it normally looks like before the outbreak? Now that you're stuck at home, what did it look like before?
Before the outbreak, I would start at 7 o'clock. 7 o'clock, I would wake up at 6:30, get ready so that I can be out and finished and in the kitchen by 7 o'clock, packing their lunch for the school day.
Okay.
Then I would pack their lunch. I would wake them up after I pack their lunch, and I would give them breakfast, which is usually cereal, like Cheerios. And after I gave them cereal, they run to the bathroom, they get their teeth brushed, and they get dressed. And then they run to the TV room and watch TV for about 30 minutes. 8 o'clock we leave the house, and we wait in line for the school pickup, and then they leave to school, and I am off from them until around 2:45. 2:45 I drive to their school, and I would pick them up, come home with them, prepare lunch for them, give them their lunch, help them with their homework. When homework is done, it's around 4:30, and we go outside. We either go to the park, we go on our bikes, and I allow them around 30 minutes to just have an activity. We come home. After that activity, they bath or they shower. I help them get dressed as well, comb their hair, see that everything is fine. And then I would go out and go help my host mommy with preparing dinner. We would eat around 5:30, and 6 o'clock we'd be done. I would allow them to clean up, help us clean up. That's a chore that they have to do. I'd pack in the dishwasher, pack out, and then they would go watch TV. And by 7 o'clock, they would say goodnight to their parents, and I would put them to bed. Usually the times between 8 and 2:45, I would be off. So I would go to the gym. After the gym, I would stop by at a friend, because obviously we're not in lockdown and I have lots of time, so I can drive. Come back, and I would do laundry or I'd help my host mom with a few things, and that's about it. That was my routine.
Okay, yeah. And now obviously it's a bit different now with the whole quarantining, the social distancing, so the kids don't go to school, so you're like homeschooling now in a way? Or
we still stay in a routine, because if they're not in a routine, they it's kind of like holiday every day. You lose track of time. We tried it the first 2 weeks of quarantine and it did not work. so we had to stay in a routine. That means right now I would work 10 hours a day, and Friday, Saturday and Sunday I wouldn't work. And they wake up really early because they're little. They have so much energy. So I start at around 7. Therefore, I wake up around 5:30 and see to it that I go jog or do some form of exercise, because I need it. Just to clear my mind. And then 7:30, they wake up. I see to it that I am done and ready by 7:30, so I can give them their cereal. We do classes online, so school starts around 8 o'clock, and then we are busy with school until around 11 o'clock, and then we do an activity. Maybe we go bike ride. It's a little hot right now, so we bike ride, we come back, we swim, and then afterwards they read. They have to be kept active. They have so much energy. You can't just allow them to be homebodies and lay around. You need to do something with them. So I try and do an activity with them every single day, kind of like run them out so their energy can fade a little, you know. So that's kind of been my routine these 2 months.
Okay. So that's a long time to be stuck at home.
Yes.
Reasoning for choosing OPC to do your au pair program?
I had 2 family friends that have already been part of the program, and they said it's so amazing. You don't have to stress about finding a host family, like going out there and putting yourself out there completely. You feel secure. So I was like, okay, let me use them, you know. I don't want to put myself out there so completely, make myself so vulnerable. So that's why I use OVC, and because people said you were so reliable.
That's great. And what advice would you give to other young ladies that are looking to sign up for the au pair program?
what advice would I give? I would give, this is your family now. Make it your family. It will be uncomfortable the first few weeks, but who can't love children? Be open and be comfortable with them. Share your stories with them. Spend as much time with them as possible. Even on the days that you are off, spend time with your host family and get to know them. You're staying in their house, but it also becomes your house once you become comfortable. So don't try and live in this moment as much as possible. Laugh as much as possible with your children about any stupid thing and get to know them as much as possible. Because even if it's just a year or 2 years, it's such a little time, and you realize it when you're halfway through your program. Oh my word, I only have such little time left.
Yes.
And you just need to embrace it, make the most of it. Yes.
No, that's true. And now, what were some important questions that you thought were necessary when interviewing with your host family when you were still in the interview stage?
Important questions. Is your child fussy? Does your child have mood swings? Does your child eat certain things? Do you guys eat certain things? What do you guys exercise, or do you guys travel a lot? You don't want to come and then your host family never travels. They're only people that stay at home, but your initial idea was to come to travel a little bit, to see the world, to see America, Another question was, how's your routine? You need to ask that. You need to, do I need to make up a routine? Would you like me to enforce my style of, not enforce, but to play my style of discipline onto your children? Little things you have to ask. If your child misbehaves, how should I discipline them? Try and not enforce your own things, but ask the parents how they do it so that you can just add to it,
Yes, enforce the rules that are already in place, what they have.
Yes. Another thing is, how do you feel about religion? Are you Muslim? Are you Buddhist? Are you Christian? Would you mind if I go to church? You need to ask those things as well. Those are the questions that I would ask over and over again to any of my host families, because it's things that you need to know. You're going into someone else's home. A curfew. Do I have a curfew?
Yes,
you need to
awesome.
ask that.
Or if the car you're using has a curfew, that's also another one, because some host families force that,
Yes, that's one of those things. Those are my questions.
No, there's just some good questions. No, I really like them. Now, how are you getting your 6 credits needed for the program? Did you do a weekend class, or maybe you're doing online classes or going to college? How do you get it?
My initial idea was to go to college, but obviously COVID, so all our things has been shifted to online. But with my schedule right now, it just won't work. I only have the weekends off, and it's my personal little time. So I'm waiting for us to reopen, and then my schedule going back to kind of like normal. Then I will take a weekend away class.
Okay, because that's easy. When you go do those weekend classes, you must find the ones that give you all 6 credits within that weekend.
Yes.
Yeah, no, that's a good one. Do you find driving in the States? Oh, because you said you're in charge of taking kids to and from school and maybe to their after school activity, to the park or whatever. Was it a shock for you being on the other side of the road, or how did you find that?
Oh, it was a shock for me. It was like, I shouldn't be getting into this store to be driving. This is weird. This is a little weird. But after the first 3 times, it's just natural instinct to know where to drive. because the roads are so comfortable to drive on, especially here in Arizona. The roads are wider, and there's always this in-between divider, a big in-between divider. So you can't really scoot over to the next, to the other side of the road.
Yeah.
But it was something to adjust to. But it was one of the smallest adjustments I had to make.
Okay. Normally do with your host kids for fun, like their activities to keep them active, to keep them interested. What do you do?
Correct. They are both in that age where they just started like driving their bicycles on a daily,
Okay.
They're so fascinated by it. So usually I take them on longer bike rides. My little host boy, he is into soccer. They actually both play soccer, but he's more interested in it. So I would take them to the park and we would go kick around the ball for a few hours. And because it's really hot right now, especially in Arizona, it goes around 40 degrees, 38 degrees around every day. So
that's hot.
we would play in the pool most of the day.
Thank you for waking up so early to speak to me.
No problem.
I can't believe it. So sorry. So thank you for being with us today.
It's a pleasure.
To everyone else that's watching, please remember to like and subscribe down below. Thanks. Bye.
Bye.